Assuming no one else is coming, we'll get started. Do all of you guys have a PowerPoint? You can follow along?
Oh, I don't know how to read your writing sheet.
Um, so as we went over last time, we cover both South Kern and Old River water systems. Um, and we are Provost and Pritchard, the administrator of the program. So basically, essentially, helping to run and operate the programs until we can find a long-term solution for clean water.
¿Usted habla español?
No, sí, pero
okay.
si entiendes inglés también.
Okay. Si necesito traducción, yo puedo traducir lo que sea.
They just want to take your money.
Yeah. Well, she's got property on this side and on this side, so.
But nobody lives on the other one, so it's abandoned.
But still, having paid. Yeah, she still pays for her water.
Got it. So I'm Kristen. I am a coordinator for these communities. I essentially help with all the day-to-day stuff, operations and maintenance, helping getting billing, any questions, comments, concerns you guys might have. I can help with that. Steve would you like to go? Would you like me to?
Sure. I'm one of the principal engineers at Provo and Pritchard, so coordinating the program for all the systems that we administer. And right now, I'm basically standing in for Hamish Kellum, which some of you may have met the last time. He basically runs our administrative program, so I'm kind of filling in today.
And then my name's Ryan Jensen. I just joined Provost and Pritchard at the start of October as a senior specialist, but basically I'm going to be filling the role of community coordinator on a lot of these projects. So helping out with these public meetings, helping with outreach to local water boards where there is water boards to work with. In this case, we know that the water boards are not functioning, but that's going to be my principal role. And I'm also fluent in Spanish, so I can provide translation assistance.
And then we also work with sub-consultants, Golden State, they help with our billing. And they're also a 24-hour hotline service. So if there's any problems, especially at night, you just call into them and they'll either reach out to us or McMoore, which is our certified operator, to help solve the problem. And then, yes, McMoore's our operator. We work with them on this system. They've been the operator for Old River for a while. And then they used to do South Kern as well before the system kind of stopped using an operator. That was the same operator. And then we also work with Belden, Blaine, and Radis for legal counsel. So anything from the consolidation to any other legal matters, we work with them as their legal team.
We're basically trying to provide you like all the services of a water system, like a large water system, to get to the point where we can get a full, like a permanent solution. So attorneys and just operators, everything we can do to help out.
So a lot of people wonder what the administrator program is. It's grant funded through California's Safe and Affordable Funding for Equity and Resilience program, also called SAFER. We were appointed by the State Water Board or each administrator is appointed to water systems to help administrate, quote unquote, the system until we can help you guys achieve a long-term solution. And we're just mainly focused on small communities in need of assistance, especially ones experiencing long-term challenges. And then administrators can be individual people, businesses, nonprofits, local agencies, etc. So what we do as the administrator: water system assessment, governance and management, financial management, emergency response, operations and maintenance, all that stuff that you guys have heard us talk about and seen us do. Essentially, the water system. So PNP was appointed for both South Kern and Old River due to violations of maximum contaminant levels in both of the system's water. South Kern had exceedances in uranium and 123 TCP, and then Old River had exceedances in uranium and TCP as well. Both have been suspended by the Franchise Tax Board as well, so they're not legal entities. So we also step in to play that legal role. In 2018, there was a mandatory consolidation order with the city of Bakersfield that they have to consolidate with you guys. So that's kind of the long-term solution. And then the administrative order issued to PNP was in February 2nd, 2024. So that's when we officially became the administrator of the program.
So basically our job is to work ourselves out of a job here. We're just trying to get you over this temporary period and then get you connected to the city of Bakersfield, which is a very reliable water system.
Yeah. So the goals of the administrator, regulatory compliance, financial stability, public engagement, and just a long-term solution is the overall end goal. We just try and help with those other things in the meantime as we work towards that solution. So for some work updates, McMoore, as I said, is our certified operator, and we do continuous water sampling. We do bacteria monthly and then quarterly for the contaminants I previously listed. So uranium, 123 TCP, and then nitrate also for South Kern. Our samples indicate that the contaminants remain above the maximum levels allowed by the state. So for South Kern, uranium is still above the level. Last time we sampled it was at 26, and it's supposed to be at 20. However, nitrate has been underneath, hovering around 5 or 6, and the allowed number is 10. So that one's been looking pretty good for the last couple. And then Old River has had uranium of 24 for the last couple, and then 123 TCP was non-detect the last time we sampled for it. However, in April of 2024, it was over the limit. So we are still monitoring for that just to make sure it doesn't come back. There was also borings completed, along both par and beam to locate the height of distribution lines. We also completed lead service line inventories, and there was no lead found in any of the pipes, or lead materials identified in either system, so that's really good. We also completed lead and copper sampling in South Kern. Old River was done before we started, but both of those, there was no lead and copper found in the pipes either. And then for bottled water, a second round of outreach by the group that does bottled water. We've requested that. So they should be sending out flyers or reaching out to make sure that all homes are on bottled water from here on out. But I know, Yvonne, you mentioned bottled water. I can work with you too to get
Thank
bottled
you.
water. But do the rest of you have bottled water? You do?
They get to cuss out?
Yeah,
or
but you
people
don't
don't need it.
But you do. But
Yes, you do.
9620 gets.
yeah, bottled water.
You get bottled water?
For future meetings, could we bring bottled water applications from self-help? And
Maybe I think that they do a lot of their program themselves, but I can ask.
okay,
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I
that
don't
would
think,
be-
Yvonne,
not
I can also-
everybody has it.
Yeah, I can also I can at least send you a bottled water application, but
Yes.
then we're getting self-help to mail them out to everyone. Self-help enterprises has a bottled water program in the valley where you can just sign up and you just receive free bottled water.
if you qualify, but
If you
these
qualify.
systems are already pre-qualified. So if you're on the system, you're good.
That's free.
Yes.
So more work updates for Old River. A level 2 assessment was completed due to an outage from a vehicle accident. There was basically the positive bacteria that happened when there was a line break. I think it was around the 4th, so we had to do an assessment just to make sure that the system was up and running. And then from that, we repaired the well pad. Vacuum breakers were installed at the sample and tank sites. We're working on trying to get an easement to access that site better. And then a flow meter was also installed for water production. And then for South Kern, we've reinstated billing, invoices. We're working on getting those paid. And then,
You're trying to access to the other well?
yeah, access to the other well. And then for this one, people are going to be constructing 2 homes on these properties. So we're working,
There's a building permit application with the county of Kern to
Yeah,
construct
he had
homes here.
said he was gonna build 2 homes here.
yeah, so we're working on ensuring that we have proper easements and access to those properties as well.
On the other one, we could give you the password to the gate code. I'm pretty
I
sure.
was told,
Oh, for real?
Oh.
Well, I can get it.
Here's
we-
our part.
I used to jump over the fence and, turn on the well before
we
back in the day. I have an agreement with the other guy.
got it. Yeah, we had asked the people at the truck place to let us put our own lock on for, like, if something breaks and it's 2 a.m., an operator might need to get out there, and they said, well, just call us 24 hours of the day. We can't let you have access to the code or access to putting your own lock on.
Pero supuestamente es un alley. No tiene que estar,
Yeah, that's that
es an alley.
yeah, that situation with him is kind of weird, but there's supposed to be an easement there, and then what happened? The other house, when they got sold to him, it was just because there was a lot of tweakers going in there, and so he blocked it off. But if you look at the plans, it's supposed to be an easement, or if not, you guys can use my other house to get through. I'm right behind, like kind of corner from the well.
Okay,
But-
yeah. Well, you wrote down your information, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll reach out. But yeah, we're just working on just for long term consolidation will happen in 2 or 3 years, but just it doesn't hurt to have an easement because then it also helps legally in what happens with that property. So we're working on that. We'll see what happens. We've requested more property stuff and stuff for easements, so we should be having updates on that soon. And then for our so we're the administrator, and for the program too, there's a TA provider technical assistance, and they're the ones engineering the long-term solution. So we work hand in hand with them. So for their updates, the engineer has submitted 60% plans and cost estimates for stakeholder review. So Steve reviewed them, and then people at the city and the water board have also reviewed them. So that's moving forward pretty quickly. And then we also tried to locate the water pipelines in September. We were unsuccessful due to the condition of the pipes and the material.
I wouldn't touch on it. You barely touch those things that they fall apart.
So when they're doing construction, they're going to trench both of the streets all the way across to locate the water pipes, and then kind of do a placement during construction. And then for funding, because there will be funding to install all of this and do the consolidation, the city of Bakersfield will be the construction funding applicant for this project. But they have asked us to stay on to help out as long as we possibly can.
Because the pipes are like our properties are in the back of our house, not on the front.
Are the pipes in the back too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that actually
And
That's good to know.
I could ask the old man, but there is a drawing of the pipes somewhere.
Really?
Oh, that would
you
be
could
great.
find that.
That would
You-
save so much work.
Yeah,
Would be our savior.
Yeah, next time we bring donuts with the coffee.
that's gonna
All
cost
that
you
stuff
guys some
about
money,
needing
right?
to trench all the way across the road, we might not have to do that. If
Yeah,
it's
no,
construction.
it's not because I changed. I mean, I probably replaced like some of the water lines on that side. They're not even supposed to be water lines. They're like fucking pipe with gas lines that we.
With
You
the
know,
yellow.
Yeah,
Plastic.
Yeah, because that's what we came up. I
I've
did a
seen that.
rollover,
I've
and
seen
that's
that
what I gave
before,
her.
yeah.
I've seen that before.
I'll reach out to you this week and we can follow up on that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but there is some. I mean, they're homemade drawings, but
that's fine.
That's
Yeah, it's
better than
what
nothing.
we have.
Yeah.
Well, this stuff here was built in the late
Oh, really?
fifties houses. There
Yeah.
may be the county, they don't.
We've
They have drawings.
we've dug around a lot and haven't come up with anything. Yeah, so it's
The map that I gave you didn't help.
It does, but we want like specific
Yeah.
connection points, not just like, oh, these houses are connected. Like the fact that they're on the back side's super helpful because the engineer is just trying to work where the previous connections into the houses already are. if they're on the backside, then they're going to have to make all their pipes go to those same places, is my non-engineering understanding.
Yeah, I wouldn't go through the back at all.
The new pipes will come in the new pipes will be in the road.
Yeah, because the back ones are.
But the connections, if your connection to the house is in the back, then you have to bring a small pipe from the street around, tie it into where the line is in the back, where your house connection is.
If you don't, what happens is you end up with like sediment and all kinds of like gunk that's in that pipe starts getting stirred up and flushed out and coming out in your tap water.
No, it's better. That's why every time, that's why I like, when the well used to go down, I'll just turn off my shut off and then not get the nasty stuff in your house.
Right.
Yep.
But yeah, so engineer is working on a lot of those issues. Any information you have will help speed up the processes, kind of thing, and then we'll be less likely that they'll be digging large trenches across your streets as well.
I'll just be laughing. I'm like, oh, I know where the pipe is at. It's not there.
So we've also worked on a couple plans. One of them was the community accountability and engagement plan. We submitted that to the water board on April 25th, 2024. A lot of that just outlines public outreach activities. So community meetings, email notifications, updates. We have a web page too that's in the PowerPoint that we post all of our meeting notices to, any updates we have, if you're curious about the water quality, it'll be up there. And then, we also have the emergency response plan, which dictates what we do in case of emergency. A lot of it ties in our operator and then contacting the water board in cases of exceedances or breaks. We have a governance plan, pretty self-explanatory, talks about the governance, and then same thing with financial management. All are available upon request if people are ever curious, or they are online at that website I previously mentioned.
And also, we sent out some surveys back in April. And if you got those, please do fill those out and send them back or we've got them here. It basically lets us know, like, how can we get in touch with you? How can we send you information about what's going on with the system? What are your communication preferences?
Are you guys hiring? I can give you all everybody's cheese.
Yeah, it has a lot of the information we also put on that. That is our most important priority. Sign in. Did you sign? I believe you already have your information, right?
And the first time.
If you don't mind just doing it, just so we have a record. But you don't have to copy your information down. Just name, because I still have your contact information.
It helps us remember who we talked to at each meeting. These
also, it's just if you want us to do things differently, another great way to do it. So for emergency response, our emergency response plans have been completed, as I just mentioned. The status of the water is unsafe. Do not drink.
Or paying a bill for.
Yeah. Well, that's the catch-22. We need the money to repair the system, but the system's not working. So, sorry.
You shower.
Oh.
Yeah. Dishes. It's unfortunate.
I'm never home. I got you, done.
The important thing is it's a do not drink order, not a boil water. If you boil the water, the contaminants in the water will only get worse. Uranium and TCP do not go away. They only concentrate when you boil.
TCP.
Oh, yeah. I was like, man, fine, let me sell that shit.
As I already mentioned, if you want to sign up for the alerts, please do so. If not, we will work to make your text or your phone number zeroed down into the system. That way, yet again, outages, other emergencies, we'll just shoot out text to the entire community. You'll see it instead of personalized individual ones from me. As much fun as those are. And then obviously, we keep saying, in case of emergency, contact Golden State Water Company. Their number is here on the PowerPoint, but we've given it to you before. It's also on my signs out there. And then there's signs at Old River too, but they've gotten my signs. Billing and water rates. So customer accounts are set up with Golden State Water Company. Both systems should be receiving billing. Old River bills at a flat rate of $50 a month. That was previous as well. we have kept that, and February and March were started by Golden State on April 15th and are reoccurring monthly. South Kern bills at $75 per month. We reinstated that in September, also at the same price of $75. One of the differences is just the size and number of homes, which is how the math works out. I didn't pick the number. That's just how it was too, and it would be too hard to change like the previous rates that were already implemented before we started. The funds are that from the bills are able to provide operation and maintenance to the water system. Our work, P&Ps, is not funded by any of these costs. It's mainly just McMoore sampling and any other operations and maintenance. Like Yvonne was doing, the monthly bills that were going to her were going to maintenance. That's what that's what's happening when they come to us. We have set up individual bank accounts for both South Current and Old River to process these payments, and also that's where we keep all the grant funding we receive as well. We did complete an initial rate study to assess the true cost of the water system's operations and future rate with the city of Bakersfield. We will not be increasing rates until consolidation with the city of Bakersfield, in which I believe the rate study showed that
the city of Bakersfield, I think,
cheaper,
probably be cheaper, especially
so,
at 75
now.
Yeah, so that's good news, but rates will not change until Bakersfield
takes over.
And I assume Bakersfield does a metered rate, so it would depend on how much water.
We'll have to put meters on. Yeah, it'll depend on how much water. There's a flat portion that's flat fee, and then it's a metered after that.
Okay.
So that will all be up to the city of Bakersfield and how they do their billing. How the rest of the city is will be how you guys will be. And then I guess with the bank accounts, Old River. The important ones.
Eyes are a little tiny, more like right. So there's just the at the end there's the statement of what expenses have been paid out of the funds and what the total expenses, and then what we've received from the community. And the difference essentially it's about net operating, so 4,000 is what we received. The expenses have been 15,000. The $11,000 difference is being covered by the state of California through existing grant. Yeah.
And then for South Kern, we have other funding that we're figuring out. It's arrearage funding. It's when you it's kind of back pay.
It wasn't the state water board's arrearage program.
Yeah.
It was basically, it was during COVID, and people who had unpaid water bills, the state was basically sending money to water systems to pay off people's unpaid water bills. So the systems could keep operating without having to go out and shut people's water off or threaten to shut off water. It was actually prohibited. So the system got some of that funding from the state. We're trying to figure out exactly what's the right thing to do with it and how that money should get basically credited to the system and then give it back to the people.
Are you gonna go after the people that haven't paid? Because I mean, there's still
because
a lot of
I
people
think
that
it's not fair for us.
that
A lot of that will be with Bakersfield because their water will just be shut off, I guess.
Right.
Well, their balances won't transfer to the new
The balances won't transfer, but
I'll get a clean slate.
But once they go to Bakersfield, that won't really fly. With us, we can send notices, we can tell people to pay, but we can't really like shut off the water. So we do our best, I guess is the best way, but we unfortunately don't have the ability to force anyone to pay, especially if they haven't been paying before.
Yeah.
The likelihood of them continuing.
Put me on the books, but I'll make sure you get your money. Just saying.
Interesting.
I am a repossessor too. So.
But yeah, the nice thing.
Have you ever tried to repo water?
I have repo water trucks. I have done. I was in the real estate business, and trust me.
The nice thing now, though, is we do have that grant funding to supplement. So you guys will never have to pay more than your rate. The whole point of the rate is so that way when consolidation happens, you're not going and starting to pay from nothing. It's like you're already in the rhythm of paying and you're already used to it. However, if they don't pay, you guys won't have to pay more, which is, I guess, better than it was before. Because with the bond, if they didn't pay, you would still have to help pay. So now anything that you guys can't, that isn't covered by what you guys pay is covered by grant funding, which at least helps out. But yeah, for South Kern, there's about
Pay a lot of money.
there. Yeah, there's
Well, a lot of repairs.
It's water under the bridge. It's the tap. Don't worry about the.
Yeah. there's about
That's what I want to.
a $20,000 difference that we've covered out, or a $15,000
State is covered out.
$15,000 that the state has covered.
Silent welfare? South welfare?
So major projects and plans, technical assistance.
Come on.
Uh.
I'm giving you my bill, man. I helped them the other day, man. I didn't get paid for that either, man.
You believe it.
Okay. Usted habla español. Puro. Okay, está bien.
So major projects or plans, technical assistance is underway. That is the engineer that is working with Bakersfield to help yet again engineer
I have a
solution.
quick question for Purple.
Yes.
I forget last
No,
time.
you're fine. Don't worry.
How many of these projects are you guys taking care of?
We have 6 right now.
Oh.
So these are 2 of the 6 that we.
Oh, cool.
I only do these
Yeah,
two though.
Kristen's just this one. So the program, we have different people that focus on each individual system.
So we specialize, but then Steve will help manage all of it. The same with Brian. So we're working with Sacramento State. They are the overall technical assistance provider, and they've sub-consulted that firm down in Bakersfield. And then we're also working with UC Davis Water Justice Clinic, Robert Mullaney up there with legal assistance for consolidation with the city of Bakersfield.
Entonces, acerca de los proyectos de largo plazo, de los proyectos principales, estamos trabajando con dos organizaciones que están proveedores de apoyo técnico. Uno es de la Universidad Estatal de Sacramento y están lidiando los estudios de ingeniería de cómo se van a conectar estas dos comunidades con Bakersfield, dónde van a poner las tuberías, de qué tamaño, si necesitan estaciones de bombeo, etcétera. Y estamos también trabajando con la Clínica de Justicia Acuática en la Universidad de Davis. Ellos son abogados y están proveyendo apoyo legal a las negociaciones con la ciudad de Bakersfield acerca del acuerdo entre Bakersfield y la nueva sistema.
We also do routine maintenance, upgrades to the water system have been completed under operations and maintenance funding. For Old River, screen casing vent, install the flow meter, vacuum breakers. We confirmed that another well is abandoned because there used to be an old well there. And then we've also painted the tanks. We fenced in wells as much as we can. The big thing is please do not touch or adjust any system infrastructure. This is the responsibility of McMoore.
Okay, entonces también estamos haciendo mantenimiento rutinario del sistema y mejoras en el sistema. En particular, hicimos modificaciones a la carcasa del pozo, instalación de un medidor de flujo, una válvula de retención, y confirmamos que uno de los pozos, el segundo pozo está abandonado, que significa que estaba desarrollado y tapado con concreto, así que nada puede entrar y contaminar el agua. También pintamos a los recipientes de almacenamiento del agua, de los tanques. Pusimos cercado en los pozos, pero el chiste principal aquí es que por favor de no tocar ni ajustar nada de la infraestructura, porque este es el trabajo legal de McMoore, que son los consultores que operan el sistema de agua.
We're also working on the post-administrator plan, which will outline future issues and steps for consolidation with the city of Bakersfield. It outlines all remaining milestones for full consolidation and establishes ongoing coordination with Bakersfield officials. It will address any regulatory compliance requirements, and it will also help to continue community and stakeholder engagement, so you won't get rid of us. And then it will also identify any financial and managerial resources needed, identify funding sources for the consolidation, which would be grants, and then we will be preparing this plan by March 3rd, 2025.
Entonces, también estamos trabajando en un plan para qué va a pasar después de nuestro término de administrador. Este se trata de los asuntos y las cuestiones para consolidarse los sistemas de aquí con la ciudad de Bakersfield. Ponen en escrito cuáles son como los puntos claves, los objetivos que tenemos que cumplir. Establece la coordinación con los oficiales de la ciudad de Bakersfield y también enfrenta los problemas de cumplimiento regulatorio y cómo va a pasar la participación comunitaria durante esta transición de nosotros a la ciudad. Y cuáles son los recursos, ambos financial y gerencial, que se requiere para esta transición. Y cuál fuente de finanzas del Estado va a ser el fuente principal para este proyecto para terminar toda la consolidación y definir las responsabilidades en esta transición. Y la ciudad nos pidió quedarse en plazo como administrador para que podamos seguir como involucrando a ustedes, informando a ustedes y mantenerles participando en el proceso. Y el plan que estamos escribiendo, el borrador, lo vamos a terminar por el 3 de marzo.
Community engagement, yet again. If you have not written your contact information down, please do. However, you can also text a number in the PowerPoint, join, to receive admin texts, or you can scan the QR code. If you hadn't noticed, we're really trying to get these emergency response texts out. And then also, if you can pass this information along to people that aren't here, just in the community, if you see them in passing, you don't have to go out of your way, but it will be very helpful. Because yet again, as much as I love my individualized personal texts, I would like to spend my Saturday not doing that. So us just being able to send one text out to everyone automated will be super helpful to us and to you. So that way we can get it before you make your Kool-Aid. However, this number, the number in the PowerPoint and the number that you will receive from emergency text from us does not replace Golden State Water Company. You will still call that 800 number that we gave you, but you could still email that email we've also provided.
Okay, entonces lo que dijo Kristen es que estamos reforzando la importancia de tener una manera de comunicarnos con ustedes. Entonces, estamos pidiendo que unen a nuestra lista para recibir los avisos importantes. Lo pueden hacer a través de escanear el código aquí en la mesa o pueden mandar un texto al número que tenemos aquí en la presentación con la palabra nada más join, que es inglés para unirse. Y con van a recibir textos automatizados cuando tenemos problemas o cuando tenemos que informarles de una junta. Entonces, si pueden, o a partir de si pueden poner su número celular en nuestra hoja de contactos y decir que sí quieren recibir los avisos, entonces con eso también les podemos ingresar en el sistema. Pero algo muy importante es que todo esto es para informarles a ustedes, pero no es un reemplazo para el número de emergencias de Golden State Water Company. Entonces, si hay una emergencia en la comunidad, favor de llamar otra vez a Golden State Water Company para emergencias.
And it's also good too, because that way we can provide bilingual. If I'm doing it from my phone on the weekends, unfortunately, I don't speak Spanish. So this way we can help Brian to also be involved and be able to just send out these automated pre-translated messages.
Y tener todo automatizado significa que también no tenemos que saber, esta persona quiere recibir en español, esta persona en inglés. Nada más mandamos el mensaje traducido en inglés y en español a todos.
And then also for community engagement, we do these quarterly public meetings, and we will continue to do so until consolidation. We are open to any suggestions as to what you guys would like us to do differently as well. Or we'll work on that for next time.
He has to come every time.
I will. There's donuts and coffee.
Hey, like you said, if
Yeah.
you bring those drawings, you get the donut.
I'm asking for a job already, man. I'm worth it. Just give me like 20% off.
We can work on the donuts. That's not a me decision. I would press Steve for that one.
Like a good donut.
Donuts it is. And then there's yet again the website for more information. You can also scan a QR code in the PowerPoint to get to the website as well.
Entonces vamos a seguir con estas juntas públicas cada 3 meses trimestrales. También, como dijimos, ya mandamos las encuestas para ayudarnos a saber cómo podemos comunicarnos con ustedes y sus preferencias. Pueden visitar nuestro sitio de web para más información sobre todo eso.
And then yet again, contact information for Golden State. Always feel free to contact Provost and Pritchard if you have any questions. 24-hour hotline, Golden State. They are also bilingual, which is really helpful. Or you can email them.
Entonces, aquí en el último de la presentación tiene nuestra información de contacto. Y los dos son de 24 horas. Pueden llamar a nosotros. O are we 24 hours too, or just Golden State? Okay, nada más el número de Golden State es de 24 horas, pero también son bilingües.
If it is needed, you can call Provost and Pritchard, ask for either Kristen or Hamish, and worst case, you can leave us a message. However, for emergencies, we really do want to emphasize Golden State because they will get that emergency solved.
A lot faster.
Yeah, a lot faster. And then public comment, please write on comment cards here if you have any public comments you'd like to provide. You can also call Provost and Pritchard at this number listed on the public comment card. Email us. We have an email address for these systems. Or you can mail a comment card to us as well. And then that's the PowerPoint.
Entonces, para comentario público, siempre estamos abiertos a sus sugerencias, sus quejas. Siempre queremos seguir mejorando. Entonces, podemos recibir comentarios por estas cartas de comentario, por llamarnos a este número en nuestra oficina. That's our Visalia number, right? Or is it specific to the administrators?
That's the main line.
That's the main line.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll come in and it'll come just as long as you ask for one of the folks.
Okay. Nada más hay que preguntar por Kristen o Hamish o a mí, Ryan.
You're too late.
Y también pueden mandar correo electrónico o mandar correos tradicionales también.